Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you, the Neo indicator trading product. I have gone over this a few times and it is literally rinse and repeat. And I think people are kind of messing up their idea of how simple this actually is, what I talk about when I explain Neo. And I was able to actually, generate between about $3 million worth of prop accounts. I was able to generate around about 45 to 50,000 in profit. That's many different accounts as well. It's not just one whole account. And also I have another prop account as well, where I was able to make 16,000 profit as well from a prop account. That was from a USD CAD trade, which I did actually hold for about 3 weeks, this trade. Obviously, I did have belief in it based on the normal idea of Neo. And no, you do not need to hold every single trade for 3 weeks. This was one of those particular trades, probably mainly because of the tariff news that Donald Trump had to release, which came out about 2 days ago, I believe. That could have been one of the reasons why they were holding that trade so long. But yeah, the market's been fantastic now for the simple fact of Neo and what it can do and the idea of what it actually gives you. So, just breaking this down in its smallest forms. And I think too many people are overlooking this fact. I like to use Neo on the daily time frame. Now, when you sign up to Neo and you get Neo, and yes, it is a cost thing because I spent so many hours putting this together, so much time putting this together as well, people. You can't just expect everything in life to be free. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that because everybody's got bills to pay. It's just that simple. We're all grown up folk and everybody's got bills to pay. It's that simple. So when you look at this dashboard over here, yeah, you can see straight away that you can see every single pair pretty much in the market. Let's call it Forex pairs. This works with anything you want to trade, people. It doesn't only work with Forex pairs, it works with Forex, it works with metals, it works with cryptos, it works with futures, it works with stocks, if they're both the same, whatever the weather. It works with wheat, oil, um, anything you want to trade, people, it works with it because it's the idea of what the market does and when it creates order flow. And what is great about this is when you look at this dashboard, it's literally telling you, literally, when we just look at the breakout order column here, so that's this one right here, it's literally telling you when they have placed a order in the market. Now, if you use this on a daily time frame, it gives you a better knowledge of where they're shifting their orders throughout the week. So if you obviously want to be trading with the trend direction, of that current week that you are trading, then it's so much better to use this on a daily time frame, and then you can do whatever you want on lower time frames. Obviously, based on all my other videos, which I will attach the playlist in here, there's 5 videos, 5 hours worth of training tutorial videos, yeah, that literally show you the strategy that I've done, where I split it between two time frames, and I'll use the 4 hour and the daily in order to look for a setup. So again, what I do understand here is that people have a lot of fear when it comes to the market, and they're not realizing that with something as simple as this and volume, so you're trading volume order flow, basically, you have a very high chance of winning a trade no matter where you get in on the next day. I have a method to make it easy so people can follow steps. And again, that's in the videos that you'll see previously. But you can literally get in and make some serious money pretty much no matter where you get in. I was saying it to one of the members today in the chat. You need to stop being scared of drawdown. If you're scared of drawdown, trading isn't for you. I know you're trying to have this no drawdown way of trading and it's perfect entries. And it doesn't mean you can't get good entries in the market, but I'm going to say it has as it is, and nobody's going to be brave enough most times to say it. It's just because you're broke. That's why you want to get no drawdown. If you actually invest into yourself and put money in your account and you literally go, I don't know, 6 months grinding and go get yourself a decent sized prop account, you can lower your risk and you can trade trades and hold drawdowns. Stop being scared of it. Because I just showed every single person how I held USD CAD. So we go to USD CAD for 3 weeks. This was all live action every single day in the market. No fear, no running away. My entry was on the 18th of here. And the reason why my entry was on the 18th of March is because we can see we had a breakout order based on the strategy that I always explain. So this here from the break of the EMA would have given me two columns literally showing up on this dashboard here for USD CAD. I'll go to replay mode. I'm hoping it doesn't run too slow. For some reason, it's running a bit slow at the moment. But look here, boom. So we go over to USD CAD. I didn't do nothing but look at this dashboard. The dashboard told me. So when USD CAD popping up, should pop up there. Look here, look, see USD CAD, boom. So I had a yes on the breakout. I had a yes on the EMA column. That's telling me that price has broken the EMA and it's also done an order flow entry for me to be able to look for a sell continuation on this trade. Yes, my sell color is gray and my buy color is green. If we go over to the 4-hour chart at this time, all I was waiting for is price action to pull back into one of these FVGs here and give me a M1, a high, or a M2 confirmation for a trade entry. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to fast forward the 4-hour chart, see what happens. Boom. So there we go. We had our M1 entry, and I literally gave this signal out to every single person as a trade setup. Now, my ideal understanding of where stop loss should be is literally if this price action is going to continue this trade from this FVG breakout, and as we know, FVGs are a way for the market to continue the trend going down or going up, we should be able to see this continuing to sell. So my ideal overall stop loss was above this breakout here, right here in the market, okay? Now, of course, this was something that was tested to its extremes. But like I said, I lowered my risk and I wasn't stressed about this trade because when we see this breakout, we can see something can happen here. Not only based on NEO alone, we can obviously see if we just pay attention to, oops, let's not do that. Boom, boom, boom. If we obviously pay attention to how high USD CAD is, it needs to pull back at some point to correct itself and then continue its buy. So I held this trade, even though it did hit stop loss, and I told every single person as the trade was going through, literally, as it was going up and down, I was there through every stage of this trade, people. Not just, oh my God, it hit stop loss and I disappeared and you didn't hear from me no more. No, when you join Neo, if I'm in a trade with you guys, I'm in it to the start and to the end. And if I hold a trade, I'm telling you I'm holding it. And if I lose that trade that I hold, I will tell you I lost it and how much percent I lost. I'm not scared of losing because I've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever percent is needed, and I've made it back. I'm not scared of losing. I'm not in fear of that. So let's just zoom in here quickly. Boom. So obviously we had our entry on the 4-hour chart, which I did show you. Obviously price action was doing this. We was waiting for CPI, and you can see here, obviously would have been where it spiked my stop loss on the 20th of March. But at this point, I was still holding my drawdown because I knew from the rejection that it did here, this is all I was paying attention to. So if we go here, boom, when we saw this rejection right over here, then I was like, okay, there's still a probability that this trade can hold because price action is now starting to even form bearish FVGs on the 4-hour chart. So I was like, okay, I'm going to hold this pair and see what it does. Now, again, because of the news of the tariffs that only came out 2 days ago, so that was like 2 weeks later, this is why price action was acting a bit funny. So obviously, if we just fast forward this, we can see price action was failing to break that highest point rejection. And then obviously into the next week, so it literally was only 2 weeks and I could have hit TP1. TP1 would have been the lowest point here, which would have been this low right here. As we can see on the daily chart, we can even see there's liquidity there. So let's just go here. Boom, boom, boom. We're just going to fast forward this. And there you go. Boom. So it actually gave me TP1 right here, which was the next week. So we can see they weren't ready for the move there, but we saw the major rejection on the 4-hour, and it gave me TP1. And I was showing the group I was in profit. But I was looking to go for TP2 because I was like, yes, it looks like they want to take out this low down here because of how high it is. And this would have been at the time, the previous month's low, where a lot of liquidity would have been resting right over here. So of course I held it. Now this is where people get scared because when I held it, imagine I could have closed out here, re-entered this trade again, and we're going to see what the craziness this trade did. So then boom, it goes all the way back up. back up. And this is when people started to get scared. A lot of traders, even in the group, started to close their trade when they saw this happen. But I said, okay, all we have to pay attention to here is if they grab this liquidity up here again and they do the same rejection. That's all I was caring about, what they do there and how it forms. You can even see here that it even starts to do a daily buy breakout, but I knew that this could be a fake out just based on this simple liquidity over here. If they reject again off this area and do not want to break through this area and hold it above this area, then we should see some type of rejection happening there for a trade setup to continue for the sell. Boom, boom, boom. What did we get here? Look at all the wicks on the 4-hour chart when it gets there. Price action just keeps going there and it's struggling to buy above this area, just like that. So this is why we stayed in this trade, everyone that did with me. And then obviously for those that did, now they start to see the favor of it because boom, now we can see price action just does the major sell that we was looking for and TP2 got smashed. Simple as that. And not only did it give you that, as soon as it came here, you can see it did a breakout again on the daily, which the dashboard will appear with, yeah, right over here, boom. So it did do one, obviously this candle, because it's replay mode, it's moving fast, but there was a daily breakout on this candle here and USD CAD would have appeared on the dashboard. It wouldn't have had two columns, it had at least one telling me order flow. Not only have we seen that rejection, we've also got that daily huge order flow, which we can obviously see from the 4-hour chart, telling us that, hey, price action can start to sell. This is when the tariff news was released here. It was this candle. So we can see that happening. So that gave me more confidence to hold until the next day, which again, as I said, as soon as obviously the next day comes into play, boom, you can see what happened. And this was what helped me make the money I needed to make off this trade. Now, this is a very simple strategy. You can see here from, look at this. This is currently today. And I've said this in the group today. I told everybody, I said, Euro GBP can continue to buy, GBP CHF can continue to sell, GBP JPY can continue to sell. Remember, as soon as the market opened, yeah, as soon as the market opened today, as soon as it opened, I want everybody to understand that. This dashboard pretty much updates within 5 to 10 minutes of that, you know? It literally updates during the 1 hour the market's getting, the changeover that it does in the 1 hour it's closed before it opens again, when it closes and opens. Within 5 or 10 minutes, I've shown that in the Zoom calls, that again is going to be in the playlist. It literally updates itself, this dashboard right in front of you. So you don't have to be stressed. You do not need to look for pairs, people. Like no matter what else you're trading, what else? It doesn't matter whoever strategy you want to go, whatever mental you want to go with. I can't understand why you wouldn't also want Neo in your arsenal, because you've got this, and then you can now look at whatever they're trading as well. And then at least it gives you the confluence of, boom, this is a trade. There's so many times that there's other gurus that have been there in the YouTube space or Instagram space or whatever space, TikTok space. They've given out a trade idea. Neo has picked it up on the dashboard as well. So you're literally in line with that trader as well. This doesn't do you harm, is what I'm trying to tell you, Neo. It actually benefits you. It doesn't do you harm. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing with the trading strategy. I do what I'm doing because I'm trying to show people this is what I'm doing and what's consistent for me and what can help you. But once you find your feet, you can use it how you want to. So look now, boom, we're going to go over to Euro GBP. Okay. We'll go over to Euro GBP right now. Right in front of your face, people. What do you see here? So remember, this buy candle you can see right here was not here when the dashboard told you it could buy today. There is no faking this, people. There is no cherry picking, people. There is no if, buts, or maybes. The dashboard told you, buy Euro GBP. And then what did it do today? Do you understand? The problem I keep telling you that people have is they're in fear of losing. And they're only in fear of losing because they don't have enough money to trade, so they're over risking. If you lower your risk and you can accept a loss, even if you're trying to make, I don't know, let's say $30 in this, you can lose $10 because Euro GBP gave an entry here as well on Monday, was it? Yeah, going into the Monday entry. But we can obviously see, unless your stop loss was at this low down here, you would have lost this trade. If it was the size of the breakout, which was here, you would have lost this trade as well. Well, to be fair, yeah, you would have lost this trade coming in here when it did all of this. That's fine. It's okay. You can lose $10 or whatever the equivalent is to your account size and the risk. But now when you've entered this one here, boom, you've made all that money back. You cannot be in fear of losing because sometimes it happens. And if you don't want to lose the trade, lower your risk and hold. And you can see here, if you held this trade, boom, you've obviously made your money. Simple as. It is that simple, guys and girls. Now let's go over to GBP CHF. GBP CHF, boom. Look at GBP CHF, boom. So you had this alert here. Massive rejection. Look at what you got today. This was crazy. Of course, you're not going to see price action doing these massive moves every single week. I'm showing you now, yes, it does look glamorous because of obviously the tariff news and whatever other news. It's NFP week as well, people. And NFP is coming out in a few hours as well. But or a few minutes, should I say. But look, it's doing this and giving you these opportunities of these trades. Boom. Now GBP JPY. GBP JPY, we go over to it. You see again? So this is what the Neo's actually giving you. It's giving you the chance for you to be able to see at the start of a trading day. All you have to do is look at the start of a trading day and you can tell whatever pairs have literally created a breakout, which gives you the identification of a trade that you can look to continue to buy or to sell. If it's not there, walk away. You don't have no stresses. There's days where there's only one breakout in this whole chart. And that shows you the market didn't do nothing the previous day, literally. Between 28 pairs, the market literally did nothing, guys and girls. Now, again, I want to show you guys that it's not only on here. Look at this now. So if we go over to US 30 as well, let's just go over to this one. Boom. You see here, you would have had an alert here on US 30. I just don't have it set up on this dashboard here at the moment, but it would come up straight away. So you can add US 30, all of these to the spaces here if you want to. To do that, you just go here, scroll down. You can add whatever pairs you want in here as well. See, so you can literally type the same thing, US 30, if you want to. You can just add it in there, boom. And it'll be in the dashboard. Obviously, type US 30. You can add it there, boom. So you got US 30, you got NAS 100, all the same people. NAS 100, you had your breakout. You had 2 days worth of buys here. You had a breakout here and a breakout here. So 2 days, you would have been able to catch this buy here. Look at the breakout you had. Look from here, even a breakout here. Look at the first breakout from here. That you caught this, you would have been able to get in here, get in on this next day here, basically. Get in on this next day here. Yes, this is where the drawdown period happens. Where so you hold the trade. So you see what happens now. People start to get worried at these points. Oh my God, what am I going to do? No, Neo doesn't work, which is rubbish because look, look. So you had here breakout, 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 continuation of trade. You understand? You've got, boom, let's go here. You've got, let's go here, XAU, USD. So you've got gold previously right here. So look at the breakouts that occurred here. So you had a breakout here, and this was the massive swing trade buy continuation. You had one here as well, and this is again where everyone would get scared. Oh my God, drawdown, what's going to happen? And then it broke out again. You had the clean breakouts here. Look at this breakout here. Boom. You'd have been able to get in this on this day here because of that continuation. You would have been able to get in on this day here because of the previous breakout continuation. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to tell you is it works more than it doesn't. And that's what people need to understand. And if people want to ask what type of win rate, I would easily say this is giving you a 60 to 70% win rate. If they're going to ask what risk to reward, it definitely gives you at least a 1 to 2. Yeah. And then obviously it starts to get lower as you go from 1 to 3 and so on. It gives you at least a 1 to 2 at 60% win rate if you're just trading the breakouts alone. Now, if you start trading it with the 2 columns that are appearing and wait for the pullback, your win rate definitely starts to go up to around about a 70% win rate. And all of those pip counts I've literally given out in the group. If you join my Discord or my Telegram, it's in my Telegram. It will be pinned in the section up there. And all the signals I give up for my trades, it's all there. It's all transparent. So the next thing I'm going to ask any single person in here is, do they have any questions? Any questions for me to answer right now? Because this is just, it's very, very simple. And I think a lot of people, what they're doing is they're just beating themselves up over making trading overcomplicated. Like, you're not going to win every trade. You're going to hold drawdown. And all I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to tell people have something golden and it is the way. Don't trade anything else but Neo. No, I'm just trying to tell people that don't you want an easier way to trade? Like, that's what we're all looking for. That's called easy Forex. And this is literally as easy as it becomes because you can see order flow. See the order flow and go to the pair, and there you go. And this happens, this dashboard's updating every single day, literally. Go ahead. So any questions, guys and girls? Any questions? Feel free to ask me any questions over here. Don't be shy now, people. Don't be shy. There's the same issue I have. Like there was people, somebody that private messaged me yesterday, and they're like, for you, John, this looks so easy, but for us, we don't know what to do and when to get in. And that was a question they asked me, and I explained it already. So we checked the dashboard, market open. Yeah, you always check the dashboard at market open. If you're on the daily chart, you leave it on the daily. I tell every single person, use the daily time frame. Because if you've got daily order flow in a buy or sell direction, then there's a very high chance it's going to continue that the next day. You understand? They've literally, for it to make a daily breakout, it means they've put, the institutions have put a buy or sell in that direction. So it's very hard for it not to continue that direction. You understand? It can't do, it will not, I'm telling you, there's no chance in hell you're going to see this thing, yeah, do a breakout order for a buy, a sell, and a buy. So it will not give you 3 different breakout orders in 1 week. The most that it will give you is one that could be a fake out buy to grab liquidity or to grab, grab buy or sell side liquidity. And then it will do the right one after. You will usually on one pair, any one pair that you trade, you usually get only 2 different direction breakouts in 1 week. This is why I use the daily time frame. You see, it's less likely. So if you're trading, let's say you're trading 3 opportunities, a trade setups on any one pair you're trading, maybe you only trade GU. If it does a fake out buy, so let's go to GU now. Hold on, GBP. I'm going to answer that question. I'm just trying to show people that they're just overcomplicating life for themselves. You don't need to do that. You really don't. So let's go GBP USD, and the start of the week was here. So start of the week was here. Okay. The first breakout order for the buy, the next day you made money. That was your trade for the week. Right there, done. Do you understand? Let's go to a previous week. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, here's all the weeks here. So let's say, I'm going to answer the other questions. If you've got questions for it, people. Nuts right now. If you've got other questions, let me know. So this is 1, 2, 3 weeks in the market, okay? You had a breakout order for a sell here, look, see. So in this week here was the Monday. You had a breakout order for a buy. You had a little bit of a scalp buy here. Obviously, price action pulled back. You had the next breakout order that would have happened on the Friday here. And then boom, on this Friday here, obviously you would have had to trade on the Monday. That was a new week. So you can see what I'm saying, basically, where you only have 2 breakouts in a week. So you had a breakout order for a buy here. You're trying to get in the next day. Okay, let's just say you lost that trade. You didn't see no other breakouts in this week here. That's cool. Again, we all know we're going to lose trades. We're not going to win every trade. It's ridiculous to think you're not going to lose a trade. Okay, boom. The next week, by the end of the week, you only had the breakout order on the Friday. So you would have been looking for a possible entry from the new next week. So let's say you took this sell as well and you even lost this sell. I'm not doing no full gazy here, people. You even lost that sell as well. That's cool. When's the next breakout order? Boom, boom, boom. You would have had this breakout order right here. Boom. Right on this day here. So it would have given you a breakout order on this candle here. Okay. For that day. Boom. You would have even lost that one. So you would have only lost, here 1, 2, 3 trades. Okay. But now by the time it's done this breakout order here, boom. Now you've made this big win. Obviously, we can see that this is what people need to know. Forget just seeing the massive moves that I've shown you today. When price consolidates like this is when you have the issue, and this is where people get scared. There's nothing you can do about consolidation, people. It happens. Do you understand? It literally happens, consolidation. This is where, and I'm telling you how you can trade frequently, so you can always make money trading this. When you get these type of periods here, yes, of course, you're going to take more losers. You're crazy to think you're not. But even though you took 3 losers, you had 1 breakout here and this week here, and you're ready to go. You can obviously see as it does it in previous weeks, you don't have this type of issue. If you go back, you can see, you can use the replay mode as well for this dashboard, and you can check every week. So you can check the win rate yourself. Don't just take what I'm saying. You can literally check it yourself. Okay, let's go here. How to identify breakout properly and FEG, please. But when you ask the question, how to identify a breakout and the FEG, are you asking me to teach you? Or are you asking me based on Neo? Because we're talking about Neo today. Rather than me trying to go into explanation of FEGs and stuff, let's talk about Neo. So are you asking me about how to identify it with Neo, or you're asking me in general? That's the question I'm asking you about how to identify breakout properly and FEG. I'm confused about that question. So Mr. RT, please, if you can reiterate that question for me, please. Boom, boom, boom. My understanding of where to put the stop loss, ideally at the 4-hour FEG top or bottom, safely at the daily FEG top or bottom, worse scenario at the daily previously. Yeah, that's Pikachu. That's absolutely correct. So you've just look what you've done there, Pikachu. You've given you, if you enter a trade with low enough risk, you've given yourself 3 possible areas of where it goes from, okay, it's getting bad, to, okay, it's not looking so good, so, okay, this is worst case scenario. And that's fine. That's why I don't trade with a stop loss. I literally do what you've said in that question. I've got this doesn't look too good. This isn't looking great. Okay, this is worst case scenario. So if it doesn't hold the 4-hour FEG, then it doesn't hold the daily breakout. Then it doesn't want to hold the swing high or swing low. Yeah, you're pretty much looking at this trade probably wants to continue to go the wrong way. Do you understand? And if you've traded with low enough risk, so that you're much better and you can hold your trade like that. And that way you're only losing what you would lose if you try to go all out and put your stop loss only in one position. You understand? The best way to find OBS while scalping. So you've asked me 2 questions there, RT. You said, when you say OBS, are you talking about order blocks? What are you talking about when you say OBS as well? You put one there. And when you're saying 1 minute time frame, see, I always get this question asked, and it really just, I don't know how to answer enough for people. I keep trying to tell people, the only reason you're on a 1 minute time frame trading, I'm going to say it clear with no disrespect, it's so respectful what I'm trying to say, it's because you've got no money when you're trading. There is no reason for you to trade on a 1 minute time frame if you actually invest into your trading portfolio. I'm saying it as clear as day. You don't need to be, if you're on a 1 minute, sorry, you said 1 hour here, my bad. I just saw 1 and I saw minute. You said 1 hour, but you said, but low enough, you don't need to go that low anyway. I'm just trying to tell people that, sorry, that wasn't to you, RT, because you did say 1 hour. Let me correct myself. I apologize about that. I apologize, like I said. When you're on you don't need to be on the 1 hour time frame. Personally, you don't need to be on there, but you can still do the same exact thing. So, okay, look here. So we go to GU here, boom, and the buy trade it gave you for this setup here. Now, there wasn't no pullback on the 4 hour for you to be able to get in on Thursday. Cool. Let's go to the 1 hour chart here. So when it broke through on the Wednesday, boom, 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 and then Thursday's entry here, look here, boom. So do we have a pullback to the FEG? So the FEG would have been here. We don't even need to do all of that jazz. We can just do this on Neo. And we can up our FEG count. So you see more FEGs. Should load them, boom. There you go. So we can see here that there was an FEG that was created here, but price actually never pulled back to this one. It just continued to go. There was an FEG here. So you can even see how fast they just moved this pair. They didn't pull back to no FEGs. And sometimes it will do this. This is where people have issues with trading sometimes. And I say, okay, you know, you're going to have this. There's nothing you can do about that. And I think this is what gets people stressed and creates FOMO. Obviously, even here, there was no re-entry for a pullback to the FEG. They just wanted to push price in that one direction. But realistically, if you went from the 1 hour chart, you would have been able to get your entry here. So you can see it, boom, it created this FEG. You had your W1 entry here, and your stop loss would have been, where is it? Boom. So your stop loss would have been either below this 1 hour FEG here, or obviously you can start to put it lower, like here. This would have been a bigger stop loss, obviously 116 pips. So I would say your best stop loss would have obviously been below this level, because you can see not what does Neo do and what is Neo going to give you and what is the best example, brother. or sister. And I say, brother or sister, it's 50 pips for this stop loss here. I don't need to tell you that. If you don't want to lose more than 50 pips, guess what? My G, don't lose more than 50 pips. Don't, I don't need to tell you no rocket science here. It's 50 pips, you understand? If you don't want to lose more than 50 pips, then don't make your stop loss 116 pips, regardless of what DL says. You understand? You risk the 50 pips and you take the trade, yes or no? If you don't want to take it, don't take the trade. It's simple. It's that simple. It's not going to happen like that every single day, but however they shift the market is what they do. So this is basically how I would have entered if I was just using the 1 hour time frame. I would have either entered this trade literally because the W1 entry happened here. So I'd have been looking for a W1 low or a W2, and I would have entered there and went for my buy. Or what I would have preferred to happen is price action to pull back into this FDG. Then anytime after that, giving me my entry. But sometimes they're just gonna do this in the market, guys and girls. And this is why you've just got, all you have to do is, you know what? I can enter here on the closure of this candle. I can put my stop loss below this 1 hour FEG, or if this was a 4 hour chart, it would have been a 4 hour FEG. And then I'm just going to lower my risk. So if I am wrong, and maybe I've got to step out and go to work or whatever the weather might be, everyone's got something to do, then, hold on, so do this, boom. I could just take my trade. So I could just get in here. Was it here? It was here, sorry. I can get in here. And even if it pulls back a little bit, I can hold my drawdown until it decides to go into profit. Simple as that. People are overcomplicating Forex because they keep trying to treat Forex like it's a 9 to 5. Forex is not a 9 to 5. You're not guaranteed money. So you need to play it like you're not guaranteed money. Play it safer if you literally, not even if you can, you should just play it safer. So hopefully I answered that question there anyway. Did that answer your question for the 1 hour time frame? It's literally the same thing if you're using the 1 hour. But remember, my main confluence is always my daily chart. Even if I was to go down to the 15-minute time frame or the whatever time frame to look for an entry, I would always use my daily chart because that's telling me when order flow has been pushed in a daily direction. It's as simple as that. Simple as that. Is there any other questions, guys and girls? Any other questions? Please feel free to answer the question. Do not be scared. Remember, I haven't answered your how to identify a breakout properly on FEG. If you can reiterate, so give me that question again, maybe in a different way, and maybe I can answer your question there. But like I said, hopefully it's based on Neo. Please, if you have any other questions, let me know. It's a very, very simple product, people. You have to confuse yourself, and you got to remember, you're never being left in the lurch. Every single time in the VIP chat, I'm always talking to people in there. I'm very active. Now, a turncoat is a old support that becomes a new resistance and a old resistance that becomes a new support. That is what a turncoat is straight away. So just to give you an example of this, let's go here. Boom, boom, boom. Here. So we've got it on here first. So this was like version 1 of the turncoats I tried to make, and I keep obviously updating Neo. And of course, anytime I do a new complete update, I will make a video on it so people can understand, and I will answer all questions. So Neo, the M&W indicator, which is codenamed NUE, so Neo Ultimate Entries. It also has support and resistance built into it as well. So it shows you. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Extension. Let's see why it's not there. It could be that. That's right. There you go. Okay, cool. So a turncoat is a old support that becomes a new resistance, and a old resistance that becomes a new support. So you can see when price action broke above this level, it became a new resistance level for a continuation of a possible buy. You can see price obviously went back through it again. And then even when it came back through it one more time, let me, yeah, so you can see this properly. Boom. we can see exactly what happened here in the market. So let's get rid of all these drawings so it's not confusing us. Boom. So this is what a turncoat is. So turncoats, this is like the first version of turncoats I've decided to make when I was making Neo. Now there is another version that I'm working on, but again, I don't want to open that one just yet because it's still in the making. There's no point showing you something that's not probably consistent enough for what I want it to be. But yeah, it's literally just this, guys and girls. In fact, let me even just do that. Hold on, I can show you. Give me a second, people. Just give me 1 second, guys and girls. Um, right, cool. Let's do this. Share. All right, cool. So let's just switch off this one here. So this is Neo Support and Resistance 2 that I made. So it's the second one. And with this one here, I've actually been playing around with this one a little bit more as well. So this one here is a little bit better to show you turncoat. So you can see here, as clean and as simple as this is, looking from a daily perspective, look what happened here. So you can see price action broke this resistance level, turning this into a turncoat buy. Yeah, that's why it's got TCB in there. When it did that, boom. The next thing that happened here, price action pulled back into this FVG, as we can see here, this breakout, and then obviously continued to buy up like that. These ones are very nice, especially when you're using them on the 4-hour time frame. I've actually changed the settings for them to make them a bit stronger. So you can even see here, look at it, it broke through this level. As soon as it came back to this old resistance, you see price action buying here for a little trade setup here. So any scalpers could have got in there on a quick little buy up, which is how many pips is this done from this area here? This is done, look, that's not even a small move, that's 57 pips. That's how strong that level was. 57 pips from there. Do you see? So if you was a scalper, that was a quick 57 pip move. And your stop loss would have been here. So you could have put your stop loss just below this zone. So it'd have been like a 1 to 1.2 trade if you were doing that. You could have made your stop loss even smaller, just below this candle if you're one of those low time frame scalpers. Yeah. So that would have been the low on a lower time frame. And there you go. And that's like a 1 to 50 pip move there off that level. But that's not how I would personally trade them, just like that, just randomly boom, boom, boom. I'm looking for the breakout straight away. So as soon as it breaks this level, basically here, it broke this level here, you'd have got in on this candle here straight away. And then there you go. Now you got yourself a 100, 200 pip move again with like a 30 pip stop loss. You know, simple as that. So this is what the turncoats are like. And if you see here, you use them on a 4-hour chart. Again, I've been doing a lot of like, whilst I was waiting for that trading USD CAD, I've been doing a lot of playing around. You see here, like USD CAD, when it broke this turncoat support here, you can see price action went here, hovered around this area here, boom, and then melted off of that, continued to go down. You can see here. You can see this one's a lot more cleaner, guys and girls. That's why I've got it. And that's why I was creating it. This trade is just melted to kingdom come, boom. Again, look at this one here. Broke straight through, just retested it. That's exactly what I was talking about. This is a turncoat. Look, broke through that support, came back to it, even gave you an M2 4-hour entry here in the FBG as well. And then, boom. You see? So there's even different ways you can trade Neo if you want to. You don't have to just trade it the way I'm saying. You can trade it however you might see fit. So maybe you like to use the 4-hour breakouts and you can do whatever you want to do. Obviously, what I prefer to do is what I'm trading because of the capital I'm holding, and what I teach in my group is what I'm trading. But if you want to just get this indicator and trade by yourself, doing your own thing, you know, you just want to support the cause, you pay for your monthly subscription and you just trade in silence, doing your own little method of Neo, that doesn't bother me. That's your own thing. Do what you want to do. Do you understand? Like you can tailor it and put it to however you want to do. And what it does is it gives you loads of opportunities, because you would have been able to see that on the 4-hour chart. Here's a breakout. So the table would have told you it's a 4-hour breakout. You see there's an FVG there. You wait for your M2 entry in the 4-hour FVG. Boom. So you've got an FVG and an old support, which is a new resistance. Boom. Look at that entry for that trade setup and your stop loss just above that 4-hour FVG. There could literally be 20 of these trade setups happening every single week. I don't trade that way. So, you know, I'm not going to tell you 15 different ways to trade Neo. Is what I'm going to tell you. because that's just going to confuse beginners. They're going to be like, but what is the most profitable? But what is the best? But what is the one with the less drawdown? Everything's going to have its own levels of drawdown, stop losses being here, risk to reward ratios. This is up to you if you want to do that. But what I do, I show you clear and transparent every single time. So did that answer your question about turncoats, by the way, my friend? To answer your question, let me know. So yes, any other questions you have, people, you can see the turncoats. I'm just going through the pairs so you can see how turncoats look. So sometimes it's going to do this. It's going to break through. This was a nice little scalp buy, but you see it can do this reversal. Reversal all the way back down. But then when it did the sell, this is why I keep trying to tell people you have to not be in fear of winning and losing. Sometimes you're going to lose a trade, but then look at the very next one set up for you that came through as soon as it broke this turncoat here. So as soon as it broke this one here, boom, you'd have been able to get in, stop loss above this area here, and you would have been able to have what? And you would have known that this was a nice trade because you even had a breakout candle. So if you entered, I like to enter as soon as a turncoat's broken. So I've noticed as soon as they break a turncoat, even by a wick, there's a good chance they continue to take that trade in that direction. Whether or not they pull it back a little bit, they like to do that. So again, you could have even, what I do with people, and I've explained before, you could put a pending order right here. So as you saw this candle here, you're like, oh, it seems like they want to go and break this low. You could have easily have put a pending order right there for the sell, and then your stop loss just above here, and then did your whatever ratio based on liquidity, old supply demand, order block, whatever you want to do, you could have done it. You could have given yourself a 1 to 2 hour trade here to say, okay, yeah, boom, I'm taking the trade. No, this version had been released before Tennille, this support resistance 2, but I took it away when I started merging the indicators together. I've actually updated the FVG dashboard. I have this built into it, the support and resistance as well, by the way, people. This new support resistance here. Well, it's not really new, it's the old one, but I've changed the settings to make it more stronger, the levels, so they don't appear as often. So then when it breaks them, there's a higher chance it will do what it needs to do. But yes, this will get updated into the FVG table indicator sometime soon. It won't be too long, people. That's fine. Won't be too long. But you got to remember, my thing is that I don't want to add something and then people start to think, well, but aren't we supposed to trade this now? And aren't we supposed to do that? I have to be very careful with what I'm updating, what I'm releasing, and what I'm explaining. Because if not, again, like I told you, people, as it is true, as simple as it looks to me, some people just get confused. And it's very hard to, obviously always message people back if they're confused, especially when you're doing other things like you go out for the day, you've got other things to do. We all have family as well. Sometimes I'm eating dinner and I'm messaging people back saying, no, it's this and it's that. And if you don't reply, the funny one I get is the dots when people put the dots like dot, 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 like, where are you? Like I can't eat, I can't use the toilet. I can't go for a walk, I can't do anything. I have to answer all questions at all times. So yeah, you just have to understand. So it's a bit difficult. So boom. So you can see here, look, so this is Bitcoin, and look at it now. So you can see that between these two support resistance, why we're seeing price just consolidated, literally. But this one, look, so this could have been a fake out here where it broke here. But again, your stop loss technically, actually, no, your stop loss would have been here, yeah. You can see how big this resistance zone is. So yeah, this could have just been a loss. So you're going to lose some trades if you were just trading turncoats, you see. So these are the things I have to bear in mind as well. I look at consistency of whatever I'm updating. I don't just say, hey guys, look, new update, take this. And then it's just a pile of rubbish. I have to look at consistency. Does it make sense? Is it worth its while? All these things. But look, you can see here, boom. So it broke through this one. So this is showing me it's worth it more than it isn't, because you can see from all the pairs this week. And what I want to know is, oh, did it create like 5 of these zones and broke up and then failed and broke down? And no. The setting I've got it on at the moment, it doesn't seem to create more than 3 of these zones in a week or 2. So, and then most times if it does go and break it, it's obviously a good trade for you because, it's a strong zone for a reason. So you can see, look, as soon as it broke it here, and it even gave you this FEG candle here, giving you an identification that, hey, this is a breakout on the 4-hour. Your stop loss was above here. This was a good setup. So you get the drift, basically. Same thing here. You get it on CAD JPY. You can see here, boom, boom, boom. So it hasn't this week on CFJPY, it's just ranged between here and here. It's just ranged. So it's created this one. It's just ranged. So it hasn't broken it yet. It looks like it's about to, but it hasn't. You can see this one here on Dixie, broke it, melted. Ethereum, the same type of consolidation. Euro CAD, bit different, this one. So there, boom. Let's go to gold and see what it's got there. NFT. Use game and release it. Has NFT come out already? Right there. On Monday. Looks in 10 minutes. Yeah. Here what gold. If it comes out positive, gold should buy. No, if it comes out positive, gold should sell, sorry. If it comes out negative, gold should buy. Because of the cross. So you can see, look at the turncoat zones here. So gold, if it comes out positive, it should sell. If it comes out negative, it will buy. So obviously they're tampering with it. So that's what it is. I'll keep the Zoom going for NFP anyway, people. Yeah. See what gold does. Any questions while we wait? You see what gold does? Give you a simple analysis right now. On the 4-hour, gold is bearish for structure. On the daily, it's bullish. So it's still technically daily bullish, but it looks like it wants to close daily bearish. If it breaks between this low, you can see here it's appearing. Then it's going to go daily bearish. So remember how I used to trade it before in the Zoom calls and showing you guys and girls? The gold is about to go daily bearish, it looks like. Any questions? Even if it's about gold, you can ask me. Looking at this now. I miss Sure. NFP's in 9 minutes. How do you read news? Very blank question, completely lost when it comes to news. I don't know. News is something you got to learn over time, man. Don't beat yourself up. News was I didn't learn properly about news until like my 3rd year of trading, my friend. Like, it was way easier to learn about the charts than it was about news. But you just know because you got to understand. What you got to understand is every single pair. This is a little gem I'll give you here, guys and girls. Yeah, every single pair has a currency index. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. So it's not only Dixie, which people use. So people use Dixie to use a confirmation to trade the major pairs, GU, EU, USD CAD, USD JPY, USD CHF, I think AU as well, right? Basically, this is the dollar by itself, Dixie. It's actually the US dollar. So obviously, if the US dollar, if news comes out positive, it should, doesn't mean it always will, but let's say it's like a 80 to 90% chance it will buy the dollar if it comes out positive. Okay. Now remember, when we're looking at gold, what is gold? Gold is gold versus the US dollar. So obviously, if gold versus the US dollar, that means the US dollar is the secondary currency against gold. Yeah. So again, if it starts to buy, that means it's given if it comes out as positive, it will give it a negative effect on gold because the secondary currency is gold versus the dollar. That's what it is. Yeah. And obviously now let's just say if you're looking at like USD CAD now, let's say the news comes out positive for USD CAD. Now USD CAD will start to buy basically. Do you understand? Because the dollar is the first currency pair for USD CAD. It's US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Let's put it that way. Do you understand? So basically, whatever the secondary currency is, yeah, it will always kind of be the opposite, the news release. So if the opposite currency pair is like, again, the US dollar, if it comes out positive, it means it will sell the pair. If it comes out negative, it means it will buy the pair. But if it's the first one, as in the pair is the first, so the US dollar is the first pair, and the second pair is a secondary pair like Canadian or JPY or whatever, that means it will do what it says on the tin. It will literally, if it comes out positive, it should buy. If it comes out negative, it should sell. Let me know if that makes sense. It's a bit of a head, you've got to wrap your head around it, but that's literally what it is, in short. Does that make sense? Some type of sense to you? Right, cool. But yeah, look here. So every pair has a dollar index. So you see how GJ is selling, but look here, the Japanese dollar by itself, or the Japanese yen, sorry, my bad, is buying. Can you see? Yeah. Look at euro. Euro is buying. Okay. So, but there isn't a lot of pairs that are like so and so versus euro. So if euro's buying, that means euro pairs are buying as well, technically. So if euro news comes out positive, it'll buy the euro index. You see? It'll buy its currency index. And that's what you're seeing on euro pairs. Euro CAD was buying at the moment. Euro New Zealand's bought, euro orders bought. You understand? So if you go here, this one here is selling. You see? So, and your ord is actually buying crazy at the moment. And it's because this one here is selling. Do you see? So it's like you've got to play on it. It's a bit hard to explain. It takes a lot of, trust me, even messes up my brain sometimes. But every single pair has a currency index. This is what you've got to know, guys and girls. And this is why it happens. So you can see the Swiss franc is selling like crazy, but the Swiss franc by itself is buying. So obviously every pair that's got the secondary Swiss franc is obviously selling because the currency index is buying for the Swiss franc. And lo and behold, when you actually look at it, there's a huge wick of liquidity here. So this is why they're doing such a stupid move on the Swiss francs, because the actual pair by itself has got this massive move. This is the Canadian dollar. Right. Boom, boom, boom. So you can see here. So this is what it is. So hopefully that gives some people insight into it. Boom, 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 boom. Let me know if that helped you out. So that is how you determine news, basically. You can determine news through that type of idea. So and here you can even see there's two things here that happened with gold, which is giving a good indication for sell continuations. Even so, you can see here. The first thing you can see is obviously the breakout structure, which Neo prints for you. It's the FEG indicator that prints these arrows, these ones here. You know? The second thing you can even see here is technically why this is even rejecting from here in the first place as well. These levels, not only do they come up as a support resistance, they can act as supply demand if a breakup structure here has happened. Because this is the supply candle here. So there's a supply here on the 4 hours. So you can see how price is behaving when it broke here. Look how it's failing to break this supply and it's reacting to the supply. So this is giving you an early indication that the news release, not only do you have a 4 hour supply here, you have a 4 hour FVG here as well, 4 hour break of structure. This is giving you like a little insight to saying, hey, price could actually continue to sell. So news could release as positive, selling selling gold. Yes, very good question, Taurus. Very good question. A very good question. Very good answer. Sorry. So a very good question you asked and a very good question answer you gave. That could mean it. So when you see both indexes doing the same thing, when you go to the pair, it's more than likely consolidating. Do you understand? You want them to always do the opposite of each other. When they do the opposite of each other, that's when you see the big breakouts, basically. That's when they're properly in line. But when they start doing the double buys, the double sells, that's when the pair starts to move a bit inconsistent that you're trying to trade. You understand? Sometimes it will just still go with the flow, just do a buy, so it will find one direction to go. But a lot of the time, that will create consolidation in the market until it decides to rectify itself. So we've got 2 minutes. What's everyone's bets on NFP? What's everyone's bets on NFP for gold? I know everybody's salivating at the mouth for gold. So we've got this here. Like I say, will it go higher or will it reject and go lower? The TP1, if you get in on a sell, is here. It's at 3,054. Hello, can you hear me? Can you guys and girls hear me? Yes, you, Pikachu. Everyone else can hear me. TP1 is at 3054 if it sells. That's TP1. TP2 is down here, which is 3012. You need to log out here. Yeah, he needs to log out and log in. It's not from my side. If you other guys can hear me. Oh, NFP is coming out now. It's out now. Let's see what it did. Come on, what's going on? What kind of crookery is this? Boom, boom, boom. Consensus. Come on, refresh. Let's check gold quickly. Come on, what is this, man? What's all of this jazz? It came out positive. So gold should sell. So right now you can get in a sell on gold. Literally, you can get your sell in on gold, and you got your TP levels down here. You can do. You got to not be scared, people. So it came out positive, and that means gold should sell. That's what NFP got released as. It would make sense because gold does need to sell, bro. So I hope you all said that. I said you can get in on your gold sells. Where are we? It was around about here when it was. Put it here. Um, Target low, target. This is your TP2. Yeah. You got about a 2.5 R trade. See what happens. See gold right now. Get rid of this indicator so there's less on the chart. Yeah. Right now, you should be in gold sells. Let's see what happens. By 4 hour. Boy. So whilst we're waiting here, if anybody wants to get into Neo, just give me a message. It is 50 GBP for the month. Just let me know. There's lifetime slots as well. Those lifetime slots are going. There's only about 15 left of those lifetime slots. mark this out. TP1 is here. I mean, TP2 is here. TP1 is here. So, Fed Powell's going to speak as well. Obviously, we're not going to wait 2 hours for him to speak, but yeah, Fed Powell's going to speak. I'm still talking. Everyone else can hear me. Can you hear me, people? Yep. So, yep. Everyone can be in there. Gold, so you mean about right now, or do you mean in general for US 30? That's the question. It's $1 million question. $1 million question. It's kind of the same thing, really. Like, I don't overcomplicate myself with like specific ways of trading anything. I just keep it the same for everything, which is like obviously what I'm doing now is does it have a daily breakout order? Look for the FVG entry, take the trade. Literally, don't overcomplicate it. It's the same thing. That's another question I get a lot of the time. People ask me, what does this strategy work with? What does it do this? I never create a strategy for myself that works with only one thing or two things. It's for everything. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, this is how you trade GU and make money. Nope. Everything I've said in this video is the exact same thing you can do for any single pair you trade. It's that simple. Just keep it that simple. The exact same thing. I'm on gold. Why are you being so slow? Yeah, no problem. That way it just keeps everything simple and easy. So we just look at this. The same thing. What I do is every single market close, I go through every single pair by just pressing up and down on the keyboard. I just go for every single pair because I've got all my pairs marked up here. You can see. See, I've got all my pairs from A to Z, but pretty much all there. So I just go to the top and press the down button. So once you go to the top, then you just press the down button, and then I just go through every single pair one by one. And that way I get to see my strategy against every single pair and what did what. And that's how I figure out strategies. That's how I created this FVG table. That's how I did all these things. And see which one just follows a pattern consistently. And if more follow a pattern than it doesn't, then obviously it's something that clearly works. Right now, you should be in some little tiny minute profits for gold if you're in the sell. But it's been an entry for about 7 minutes now, mate. So you can enter. You're just gonna have your stop loss is obviously gonna be bigger. Get that away. Candles doing of the 1 hour time frame. Ooh, that's a nice rejection from the 1 hour. Yep. Rejection. We want it to break through some bank levels. Needs to break through this level here and hold there. It's going to continue to sell. There we go. It's breaking through that level. Once it breaks through this level here, but you can see what I'm saying, people. Do you see how I just read the news there? This is why I tell people that you can join the mentorship. Like you're gonna learn things. It's just like, come on. Once you trade it for long enough, it's cool. But you're still not gonna win every trade, but you know the knowledge in it. Do you understand? You know the knowledge. Boom, boom, boom. So we want it to hold this level here. So it might pull back a little bit, but as long as we want candles to close below this level here, which is 308,500. So nice rejection. Again, what did I tell you? NFP released as positive. We had was this all at the same time? It was one, two, three, four, four. Oh, this is why it's running a bit slow. So we had four negative, four positive USD news releases, meaning that it's a mixed consensus. So the idea is it's a bit of both. That's probably why it's running so slow to sell right now. It needs another injection of probably like Fed power to make it positive again, and then boom. But yeah, just what we got. But we have more negative high impact news. Sorry, more positive high impact news at one. We have two and one, two. That's a bit of both, really, isn't it? Yeah. It's a bit of both, really. So that's probably why the sell's moving a bit sluggish. But yeah, boom. You can see we're heading down. This is a live trade, people. Live trade I gave every single person here from NFP. Boom, boom, boom. Right now, you should be in about 27 pips profit, 270 points. Should be in 27 pips profit on gold. Live trade, guys and girls. Live. Live, oh, like 5-0. Give you this. I do need to sort out one thing on this indicator here. But look at this as well. Sort out this. It's going to remove the M&W indicator when we go lower. So I'll sort out this bug. I'm sure I can get it sorted. I don't even know why it does that because you're not allowed to update any indicators. So I've got this bug here. It won't let you publish it, but it's weird. But look, even if you go to a 5-minute time frame, look at the breakouts you start to get. So you would have had a breakout here. So just before when we entered, look here, you had a 5-minute breakout, FBG here. There's a 5-minute FBG there just before the news release as well. And you had a break of structure as well. But there would have been one right here. Boom, boom, boom on the table. If you have gold on your table, it will tell you that. So you had one from here as well when it went all the way back up again. You see, you had a 5-minute breakout starting from here. You had your entry even here as well. So there's an indication. Obviously, that's for the lower level traders. Oh gosh, I like to trade more the higher knowledge. So we've got a TP1 and we've got TP2. Obviously, I'm not going to stay here forever because the Zoom would be too long. But you've got your TP1 here again, 3054, and your TP2 at 3012. Obviously, it's completely up to you if you want to hold the trade. I'm not trading this trade at the moment. I've made my money for the week and I'm good with that. I'm okay to start again next week. After the 3 week hold on USD CAD, I'm not stressing myself at all. No worries, Taurus. So it's probably going to play around a little bit more. It will make more of movements in the next 2 hours and 40 minutes. Fed Powell is going to make it do what it needs to do, whether it's going to continue to sell or not. So you got to kind of, it's up to you how you take the trade, but you got to check this news, which this news will be around 11:25 a.m. for people in New York or on New York time. So at 11:25 a.m., you need to check it. And for people in the UK, obviously, or that's on my time frame, it'll be 4:25 p.m. All right. So any other questions does anyone have? If not, I'm going to leave it right there. So Zoom is not too long. An hour is what I like to keep it. If you do want to sign up for Neo or anything, let me know, guys and girls. I am here. It's all there for you. No stresses whatsoever. Let's get into the market. It should continue to sell though. Structure. There's something I'm going to teach the VIPs soon. Something I saw. But from what structure looks like, because they did this sell, it should continue to sell, at least to this liquidity. Yeah, it should, based on structure. If it never did this sell here, then yeah, I would have said no. But this sell has literally shown us a change. This specific one has shown us a change in structure. So, yeah, should continue to sell down to here, people, and may go lower, especially the fact that we had positive news with NFP. So yeah, once you make your money on gold, hopefully everyone does. Please post the profits in the group. Don't be shy if you made money on it on this live trade. Then yeah, just let me know. Let me know how it goes. And if you want to purchase Neo with that profit, let me know. All right, people, have a good one. Take care. I'll leave it there.